All right, welcome. Today we're diving into a really powerful framework. It's all about taming that project chaos we all know so well and actually turning our best ideas into reality. Let's jump right in. So, have you ever had this happen? You've got a brilliant idea, maybe even a game-changing one, but it just gets lost, swallowed up in the chaos of too many projects and shifting priorities. Well, that's exactly the problem this TLSBlue framework is built to solve. You know, it's funny. Without a solid system in place, organizations often end up creating their own chaos. It's this weird paradox where launching too many things at once actually hurts the projects already in motion, and it makes it almost impossible for anything new to get off the ground. And here's the thing. It's not usually a problem of bad ideas, right? It's a problem of a bad system. When you've got way too many projects all fighting for the same handful of people and resources, and priorities are changing every other day, you're basically set up to fail before you even start. Okay, so how do we fix this mess? The solution is actually pretty elegant, and it's built around this powerful idea of a project funnel. Think of it as a system designed specifically to bring order to the chaos, to get clarity and control back into your pipeline. No, don't just picture a simple pipe where everything flows through. This project funnel is way more than that. It's a really rigorous system. Its whole job is to filter ideas, prioritize the ones that are actually going to make a difference, and then prepare them so carefully that they're set up for success from day one. This funnel is broken down into 4 key stages. And here's the deal. A project has to pass through every single one. It's a journey, really, from a simple idea all the way to a fully resourced, ready-to-go plan. So let's walk through exactly how that works. And a really critical part of this whole thing is that there are decision points at each stage. I mean, projects get seriously scrutinized here. They can get approved to move on, sure, but they could also get sent back for more work, put on ice, rejected completely, or even merged into another project. It's this tough filtering that makes sure only the best, most valuable ideas actually make it through. Okay, so let's do this. Let's follow a single idea on its journey through the funnel. We're going to see exactly how it gets tested, refined, and prepped for launch as it makes its way through these 4 crucial stages. So, stage 1, it all begins with that spark, the idea. The very first thing that happens is we check, does this idea actually line up with our company's goals? If the answer is yes, the team builds out a high-level map of what success looks like. It's called a future reality tree, or FRT. And believe me, this isn't just a quick sketch. It gets put under the microscope by all the key stakeholders. All right, once we know what we want to change, the project graduates to stage 2. And this is all about the how. How are we actually going to do this? The team builds a super detailed roadmap called a prerequisite tree, or PRT. Its job is to identify literally every obstacle that might get in the way and then map out exactly how to get past it. Now we're at stage 3. This is where things get really concrete. That detailed roadmap, it gets converted into a full-blown project plan using a method called critical chain project management, or CCPM. And this is huge because this is the step where the final scope, the timeline, and the budget all get locked in. No more guessing games. And that brings us to the final gate, stage 4. The project is fully baked, ready to go. But, and this is so important, it doesn't just get launched right away. Instead, its release is strategically staggered. We figure out when our people and resources will actually be free, and we slot it into the pipeline then. This is how you prevent that classic resource overload and make sure the project has a smooth takeoff. This quote just nails the whole philosophy, doesn't it? There is no justification for releasing a project for execution when the organization is not ready to execute it. I mean, think about it. Launching something before you're truly ready for it just creates more chaos and hurts everything else you're trying to do. It all comes down to this. Readiness is everything. So a project has made it through all 4 stages. It's perfectly prepped and it's been released from the funnel. Now what? How do you actually manage it? Well, that's where the execution side comes in, and the methodology is called critical chain project management. To put it simply, CCPM is all about one thing, protecting the overall project deadline. See, the old way was to add a little bit of safety time, a little padding to every single task, but that time almost always gets wasted. CCPM does it differently. It pulls all that safety time together into big strategic buffers that protect the entire project. And there are really 2 main types of buffers you need to know about. First, there's the project buffer. That's a big chunk of time tacked onto the very end of the project, and its only job is to protect that final deadline.
Then you have feeding buffers. These are clever. They're placed where smaller, non-critical tasks feed into the main path. This way, a delay on some side task doesn't end up derailing the whole show.
Okay, so managing one project like this is cool, but what about managing dozens of them at once, all with their own crazy schedules? I mean, that sounds like a nightmare, right? Well, this is where CCPM gives us the surprisingly simple and elegant tool to handle it all, the buffer fever chart. No, seriously, think about that for a second. You've got some projects that last a few weeks, others that take months, maybe even some that go for years. How on earth can you get one single, clear picture of how everything is going? How do you check the health of your entire portfolio in just a glance? And this is where the fever chart is just magic. It completely replaces that mountain of different reports and spreadsheets with one single, unified visual. That's the key. Every single project, it doesn't matter if it's big or small, long or short, gets plotted on the very same chart. You get an instant snapshot of everything. So how does it actually work? Well, it's brilliant because it's so simple. The chart is just plotting two things against each other. On one axis, you have the percentage of the project's main path that's complete. On the other, you have the percentage of that project's safety buffer that's been used up. That's it. And with that simple visual, you can see instantly if a project is healthy, if it's at risk, or if it's in deep trouble. Okay, so we've walked through this whole system. How to filter the right ideas, how to plan them meticulously, and how to execute them flawlessly. But why? What's the big payoff here? Well, it's about getting to a place of such solid operational stability that you can finally make those big, bold, strategic moves. It's about earning the right to go find your blue ocean. Look, when you put a framework like this in place, you create something amazing. A system that consistently delivers on the three promises of every single project. You get the full scope, you finish on time, and you stay on budget. And that reliability, that predictability, that becomes the rock-solid foundation you need for any real long-term strategic success. And this final quote really brings it all home. Quote, "We have all the fundamentals we need to proceed with creating a blue ocean." See, when your project execution is this solid, you're not just running around putting out fires anymore. You've created the stability and the breathing room to actually innovate, to create entirely new markets, to go find that blue ocean. So the real question this whole framework leaves you with is, if you had this kind of stability, this kind of control over your projects, what new markets could your organization create? What could you build? If you want to dive a lot deeper into all these concepts, the TLS Blue Book is the absolute best place to continue the journey.